Today's video, we will be discussing the next big storm system and how all modes of severe weather are on tap for this next week. We'll also be discussing how Tornado Alley is about to awaken in a very big way and that we are just getting started. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. Alrighty, folks, starting with what's taking place today, Saturday, April 20th, the SPC has a marginal outlook for severe weather. I don't expect this to be anything crazy today. It has been upgraded since last night, where there wasn't a 2% tornado risk. Now there is for parts of San Antonio and southern Texas, very isolated, maybe a spin up or two. Wind risk is pretty much going to be 5 as well as hail risk. So I don't expect anything major today, but we're going to be covering the timing of this later on in the next video. I'm going to show you all some of the further outlooks as well. So let's dive right into that and take a look at what the SPC shows for Alrighty, jumping over to what I think is going to be more of a significant severe weather event moving into April 25th and April 26th, next Thursday and Friday. SPC already has a 15% area for severe weather highlighted here for parts of northern Texas, Oklahoma, as well as Kansas. And this ejects into Friday, April 26th, where this could be even a bigger event. We're already starting to see a negative tilt, low level jet, plenty of moisture coming up into these areas. But I do want to notate that this will change. So take this with a grain of salt. What the locations that you see on here, the timing that you see on here, and the things I'm going to show y'all will change. So definitely take it with a grain of salt because it's not going to be until we start moving closer to the event the models begin to get a better handle and grasp the situation and what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and dive into the models for today, April 20th, and see what they show for the outlook as far as severe weather. All right, guys, jumping over to the models for today, Saturday, April 20th. And what I'd like to do, at least when looking at the short-term range models, is kind of compare what I'm going to be using as the future model to indicate what could happen versus the live radar, what's really going on right now. And you can see the latest Z that came out. We got a lot of convection going up here. This is around 11 a.m. This is what time it is now. This is what the radar thinks it looks like right now. And I'd say it's pretty close representation, and you're not ever going to get spot on to what the radar exactly looks like. It's gonna, it's not going to be that high as resolution. Otherwise, we'd be able to predict the weather and wouldn't have to be doing this. So let's go ahead and dive over though and take a look at what the model shows here, and we can see, like I said, this is around 11 a.m. That's what the radar looks like, and if we start moving this forward for Saturday, April 20th today, let's go ahead and go forward roughly about here, about 2 to 3 p.m. Central Time. Down here, southern Texas, discrete cells already starting to fire up along this boundary down here. And these are going to be the ones that are going to be capable of producing maybe an isolated pop-up tornado, hail, and as well as damaging winds. Like I said, I don't expect this to be a big severe weather outbreak today, guys, by any means. But we can keep pushing this forward, 5 p.m. This boundary is still sitting over here along the I-10 corridor going down to almost Corpus Christi. We can continue running this model forward. 6 p.m. boundary still sitting there. Still going 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 p.m., midnight, 3 a.m. I mean, we get to 3 a.m. and it's still kind of sitting over here. Maybe some flash flooding going on down here, possibly in some isolated areas. I believe we already got one. Let's see. Yeah, one flash flood warning actually going on already near Big Springs, Colorado City, where we ended up chasing not too long ago. I think Abilene's probably going to be under a flash flood warning here fairly soon as well. So, all right, guys, diving a little bit further into the models now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 500 millibar low-level jet, which is kind of gives us an idea in the long-range models of what the atmosphere is like, basically 18,000 feet above our head, or 2.9 to 3.8 miles above our head. And these are going to be the wind speeds. And as you can see, on Thursday, April 25th, this is roughly around 1 p.m. give or take, and take this with a grain of salt, guys, because like I said, when we're looking this far out, things are going to change. The placement, the strength, everything is going to change. So we can start putting this forward here, 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 10 p.m., 1 a.m. on Friday, and then pretty much 4 in the morning, Friday 26th, where we have that next big severe weather event that the SPC outlined. The jet's definitely starting to kick in now. We're starting to get up to 60, 70 knots now, and we can continue pushing this forward in time here. 4 a.m., 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and then it really kind of dies off. But there's other kinematics that are going to be in place, and we're still too far out to tell, so we're not going to cover too much of that. But just know that pretty much for next Thursday and Friday, April 25th to 26th, the models are definitely indicating there's going to be a strong low-level jet. We can also put this more forward in time now, and this is going really way out. This is going to be about Sunday, April 28th. Very strong low jet and negative tilt trough coming into the central U.S. I think this is, if this holds true, which the models have been continuing to show this pattern here, this would definitely be a big storm system. So that's something that we're going to have to watch later on in the future. Let's go ahead and dive on to some of the specifications and details on this next big severe weather. All right, diving into some other future models here for surface CAPE, which is convective available potential energy. And this is basically going to show us how much food there is in the atmosphere for these thunderstorms, right? Because they have to have food, they have to have energy to grow. If they don't have that, then they're just not going to be able to grow and prosper. So if we go ahead and push this into time frame, this is Thursday, April 25th, 1 p.m. And like I said, we're still very far out. This will change. We can see in the Texas Panhandle, northern Texas, we got about roughly 1,200 to pushing almost 2,000 joules per kilogram, right? And you need at least 1,500 joules per kilogram for thunderstorms. So it's not crazy for Thursday and Friday. You can kind of see it stays minimal. It kind of peaks maybe around 10 a.m. Friday, April 26th. But obviously, we're not going to focus on the time frame exactly. Friday, April 26th, 1 p.m. definitely starts strengthening. We're starting to get capes into the 3,000s now. Let's go ahead and move this forward for the next severe weather event that looks the most concerning, which is going to be about Saturday, April 27th to Sunday, April 28th, when we discussed that big negative tilt trough coming over the Central Plains. And you can see CAPE just absolutely exploding. I mean, we got some CAPE values pushing, let's see here, pushing almost 4,000 around central Oklahoma. So, if this continues holding true, there's definitely a big severe weather event on tap for this, next Saturday and Sunday, April 27th to 28th. So this is just kind of a sneak peek at what's to come. Like I said, I don't want to get too much in detail because things will change, but this is just kind of a preview of what's to come. And we'll continue doing daily updates and monitoring this leading up to it and hopefully be able to go out there and chase this as well. Also, guys, wanted to discuss one more thing before we end this video, and this is for today, Saturday, April 20th. I do think most of the severe weather for today is going to be mostly down here in southern Texas near the Rio Grande River. What we're looking at right now is supercell composite, and this just kind of gives us an idea of, are storms able to be discrete, how much energy they have in the atmosphere, and it's kind of like a model that just indicates the strength of storms overall, basically. To kind of sums it up, and really a lot of the updrafts and a lot of the shear is mainly going to be down here in western southern Texas. So I Houston area, Katy, I mean, you got a little bit over here, but it's nothing to be concerned about. I think if we're going to get a lot of big wind producers, it's mainly going to be down here in southern Texas. But we will continue to monitor the situation, guys. I appreciate y'all watching, appreciate the support. Don't forget to hit that sub button, like, subscribe for future videos like this, and hopefully we'll be out here chasing next week. Y'all take care and have a great